Hi, and welcome to another Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to do a really neat tangle called MaryHill. Now, I really enjoy the 3D op art type of tangles. It's one of the an additional reason that I have become addicted to Zentangle. It's like, wow, I can do that. That's really neat. So, we're going to start off. Actually, I'm going to start off with the pen. And there are a couple ways you can do this. And the way in my step out is a round way. You can do this, I want to say, with any shape. I think I've done them with squares and with circles, but we're going to do the circle because it's kind of fun. Well, and I say circle, I really mean orb. So on your paper, I'm going to try to draw this one, well, rather big, if I can. All right, so, and we do use the word orb because using the word circle is, implies perfection, and, and in Zentangle, the aim is not necessarily for perfection. Perfection is, we can always strive for things, but it's not about perfection. It's about just kind of exploring this creativity. It was founded as a way to teach meditation through art. And a lot of us, like me, I found art through this, and then also the side effects are the mindfulness state, the meditative aspects that you get from doing these repetitive strokes. So once you have your orb set, and again, I'm going to draw it big because I want you to be able to see. Then we're going to kind of find what's halfway, and just drawing a line, dividing that orb in half. And then crossing it also in half again. And if it's not perfect, as we'll see here, because mine is definitely not perfect, we'll see how well it turns out. And hopefully I will prove to you that it is okay. Now, we're going to also cross this. We're going to subdivide these sections. And what I like to do, instead of like doing one big cross, is I subdivide this section. And then I come across the other way. And I start from the center and go out. That way I don't accidentally miss that center. Oh yeah, so yeah. See, as you can see, my sections are a little bit odd. So this will be a good testimony to the fact that all things are okay in Zentangle. All right, so this one it's really the same step over and over again. And what we're going to do is pick a section to work on. And we're going to start, and it's really auraing. And to aura is to basically outline. And now if you've ever done the Tangle paradox, and I believe I have a video on that one, it's auraing and then a little bit of paradox mixed in. So let me demonstrate what I mean by that. Okay, so whatever section, and we're only going to focus on just whatever section you pick. That's it. We're going to repeat the same thing in all of the sections, so know that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this in this section, the left line, and I have my tile turned so that way because I'm going to mirror this arc, but my hand is comfortable here, so that's what I'm going to do. So let's see. I think I'm going to try to, so that way it doesn't take forever to get this done. I'm going to try to separate my aura, have it a little wider than I normally do. We'll see how well that goes. Now, I'm auraing, this curve, but I'm staying a little bit away from the right line of this section. Okay, we're going to do that for all of them. So taking that line and then coming, say, just shy, and then what I would do, turn your tile, then we're going to draw a straight line. We're not auraing this. This is where the paradox, if you've done that tangle, this is where that comes in. So we're going from this end to this center, drawing a straight line. And so as you see, as you're going down, this space is getting narrower and narrower and narrower. All right? And then we're doing the same thing again, starting on this left line And I'm going to work to keep that same distance. And then again, stopping. And what I would also work to do is to keep this same distance. So, whatever this distance was, maybe keep that or close. Close is always good. Then stopping, turning from that point to the center, drawing a straight line. And then repeating. Now, I'm trying to keep these videos quick, but I don't, say, if you kind of get this and you want to fast forward, of course you can. I'm trying to, make these so they're one tangle, and then we're just repeating. So over and over again. There we go. And I say, I would think about maybe just doing, after I get this done, doing my own fast forward, but sometimes I get a little revelation and want to share that with you. So we can do this one together. All right, so you go as far as you can. And let's see, yeah, just as far as you can on that inside. Okay? Now, guess what? We're going to do the same thing in the next section. So again, aura-ing. And, part of me, I don't know. It's probably maybe a little bit helpful to, kind of, so like where this one ends, maybe start it, over here around that same, around the same area. And again, when we come to this right line, we're not going to touch it. We're coming a little bit away from it. And then drawing that straight line. Ooh, I have a long ways to go here. Straight line to that point. And again, this is just a nice one, because once you get this part down, because it's the same thing over and over again. This is a really nice one that if you're looking to use this as a way to relax and to meditate, you can kind of lose yourself in this one because you don't have to think too much about it. It's really just a matter of going slow, so that way, your lines can look good. And as I'm noticing right now, I think my hardest challenge with this one is kind of maintaining this curve. I've noticed I'm like going, well, mine just look like sevens. So if you can maintain that, the aura that we kind of started with, that's always good. And then again, just as you can, as far as you can fit anything in, and then start over. And then as you can see, the magic of this one is the combination of the aura as well as the straight line here of paradox, and then it just creates a really neat look that as it starts, as you start filling it out, or I should say getting it filled in, you start to see what happens. You know what I think I might do? Because I do have a finished one. I just want to do some more of this, because you get the idea, and then I can show you the finished product. That's what I'll do. It's just like the cooking shows on TV. But this way, you just continue it around, doing the same thing. And again, the biggest important parts are in, well, yeah, because, well, you know what? Let me do one more section, because I want, you might start seeing this pop, and I think when we get about halfway, then it just kind of starts to pop out. Now, something that you can play with on this one is, the distance between your auras. It's one of those where, you're going to have a different effect, if they're closer together or farther apart. And again, you can try this in a square. And I also, I don't think I have myself played with this so this is essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. this is 8 pieces, right? I've not tried it myself, like dividing a space up into less. To me, it'd be almost too hard to, although I suppose you could find a way to divide the space up. It's plenty easy to, to divide it in quarters and then quarters again. And let's see, let's get that. Yeah, and so now you can start to see this pattern, just, these leaves. So so you get the idea, and then you can continue to go. But let me show you one that I had done before. And so this is what that ends up happening. And as you see, so this one, actually, let's just do like this. Yeah. These were a little bit closer together. And the pen is a little bit thicker. So, yeah, that's kind of another thing that you can play with. So it has this really neat effect. And then for the shading, so you can kind of see here, but let me add some in real life over here. It did the shading along the lines right along your corners. So taking putting some graphite right on those corners, and really essentially connecting corner to corner. Like this. And well, let's see. Here's what I'm going to say. I usually do a picture afterwards. So here's what I'm going to do, because again, my objective with this is to give you the lowdown, but also try to do this somewhat as quickly as possible, so that way you can enjoy your tangling. But I do have another thought here on the shading, but I think I might want to try it on the other side. So actually, you know what? I think what I'll do, here's what I'll do. I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to finish this up and come back. And then, because as I was thinking, I'm like, ooh, I have another idea. So this way of shading, you see how it rounds this edge, and that's what I basically did on this one. But I will just take a quick pause, and you'll see me in 1 second finishing this up with the other thought I had on shading. So pausing for a moment. Okay, so we have shading on the inside of each corner. But what I wanted to try to do here is I'm still going to put some graphite going on those lines, or on the corners, I should say. But I'm going to shade out the other direction. So I'm going to shade out here, leaving that, just so that way we can see what that looks like. Now, well, in here, and this is, of course, like everything, up to you idea. I kind of recommend doing it one way or the other, but that's up to you. And let me do this. Oh, see, and that has obviously a different effect. So, here, let me just take a blank one so it's not to confuse. All right, so that it has a different effect. So then, this is more of a blunt edge, and then, the rest of it's rounded. Now, of course, you could, play some more, and I'm just going to do it. Shade this, but same thing. I'm going to I'm leaving this part alone, and just kind of shading this background. And so that's kind of neat. And then, of course, you could do the edge or whatever, but then we'll flip it this way so you can see. Well, actually, you know what? two on this side. Wait, let's see. Wrong way. I had one of the other side there. Yeah, see this one you could, if you wanted to, you could, do this whole side and bring that in. It's up to you. And again, it is just fun playing. And actually the combination kind of gives it some motion, doesn't it? It's just kind of neat. It kind of looks like a pinwheel of sorts. Just a really, really fun tangle to do, and neat to be able to create this kind of a 3D effect. Now, here's some additional fun that you can have. Here is MaryHill on a Renaissance, so a tan tile. Now, I haven't done anything with the outside. That's additional fun that one can have with this. Is, of course, decorating the outside of your tile or whatever you're working on. But this one, I decided to add a little bit of the white charcoal. Just for fun. So this one I did the graphite on the inside, so it gives it that rounded look. And then I added the white charcoal basically to the outline of the design, and then put a little bit on the inside just to add that shine. And that's a really neat thing that you can do with toned paper is, besides, having just the original paper color in there, because we want to have that for contrast when we're shading, but adding the extra highlight of the white charcoal, so that way it adds that extra, again, layer of shininess or roundness. And I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. And then also taking a look at doing it in the square format. I mentioned I hadn't tried it before, but I thought, well, while I'm stopping and starting, why not just let's play around here, and then I can show you the results. So I did this on a black tile with a white jelly roll marker and did a square. Now this one, the only thing that happens in doing it is that the shape is a little bit different. Where when we're doing it round, it's pretty much always the same except for the size. And with that, I do want to point out that, remember I mentioned that while I completely understand those that want to use a compass or something to make sure or a stencil or something to make a perfect orb, there is something extra fun and challenging about doing it freehand, and I highly encourage you to do that. Kind of like living without a safety net type of thing. So I encourage you, because that's one of the things that Zentangle is kind of founded on is no grid lines, no prep. The prep usually comes within, what we're doing. So for instance, this one, part of the tangle is, the orb or square, drawing essentially an asterisk, across, and then cross and subdividing, but that's part of the tangle. So I encourage you, if that's kind of like I don't know if I could do that. You know what, I just encourage you, because it's a journey, no matter what. And, and if you are that way and you want to step out and do that, I would love to hear from you. The mental part of that journey, because that for a lot of Zentangle, for me, is the mental journey. It's almost like I have little bits of therapy going on with myself as I'm tangling. For me, it's it is the pen on paper, just period, without anything, and just taking that breath and just doing it and being okay with it. So anyway, so life's a journey. Zentangle is a journey, and I'd love to hear from you. So if you want to put anything in the comments, would love to hear. This was a super fun tangle to share, and I hope that you get a lot of fun out of playing with it. There's ways to connect with me, either on Facebook and otherwise in the description, as well as the step out to this and anything else of interest with this that I can find. And I want to thank, her name is Betsy Wilson, is the originator of this tangle, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So thanks so much for joining me, and I wish you happy tangling.